In this video, I will be giving you the ultimate cheat code settings for macro photography that will help you to hit the ground running and allow you to hopefully start capturing those images you've always wanted. Think of these settings as a baseline for you to use and to adapt for your own situations. So if you're just beginning or have an interest in macro photography, this video is for you. Okay, to start off, let's talk about gear. You don't need top-of-the-line gear with macro photography. Sure, it can help, but you'll still get some great shots even with entry-level gear. Now, I would really recommend using a mirrorless camera for macro photography, mostly because of the focus peaking ability. I'm assuming most mirrorless cameras now, even your entry-level ones, can allow you to focus peak. Focus peaking is almost like cheating when it comes to macro photography. It makes focusing when so close to your subject an absolute breeze. So, focus peaking. Look into it. Also, a great macro lens is a game changer. There's many awesome macro lenses out there, and usually the best ones are manual focus only lenses. To have complete control over your photos, you will need to be shooting in manual focus. Sure, you could try shooting in autofocus, but your camera won't be able to focus on the correct areas of your image, especially if you are up close and requiring that specific area of detail. Macro lenses range in price, but if you were going to put most of your budget into something, your lens would be the best thing. My main go-to lens and my favorite macro lens on full-frame cameras is the Laowa 100mm. It produces very sharp images with little distortion, which is what you want. My second favorite macro lens is the Olympus 60mm for Micro Four Thirds cameras. Both lenses were under $1,000 Australian when I bought them, so I assume it would be even less than that in your part of the world. Manual lenses really work best with your camera's focus peaking ability. Now that you have your camera and your lens, you will need a camera flash. Once again, no need to break the bank here. For example, I'm using a $100 flash. This is a Godox manual flash, which I bought on sale. On top of your flash, you will need a diffuser or something that will reduce the intensity of the light from your flash. Once again, you don't have to go crazy on the spending here and could use something simple like this. This is a Velo flash diffuser, which I bought for cheap, I think 10 years ago. It works for me and my setup, and it's just enough for what I shoot. Okay, so this is all your equipment ready to go. But first we need to get some basics down. You will be shooting completely in manual mode. This gives you complete control of your camera settings, and I'll come back to this in a second. Shooting in manual mode also means you should be focusing manually. Now, I found the best way to focus when shooting macro photography is just to keep on the one focus point. Say I want to be super close focused. I move my focus there and keep it there. When I'm going to take a photo, I do the simple lean move technique. Let me show you. Simply moving back and forth until the image is in focus. This is where focus peaking really helps. A simple technique and using the abilities of your camera and your body can make your life so much easier. Now the settings. We'll start with the aperture. With macro photography, you're challenged with two things: capturing as much detail as possible and light. With my photography, I want to capture as much detail as possible, so this means shooting at an aperture of f11 to f22, with the sweet spot around f16. Now this means that your image will be dark, but that's where your other camera settings can pick up the slack. Shooting at such narrow apertures means that the image may be lacking depth of field, but that's okay, as your subject will be crisp and in detail. As an example, this is an image shot wide open at f4, and here is an image shot at f16. Notice the backgrounds and the lack of details on the insect's face at f4. So to recap, keep your aperture between f11 to f22, with the optimum being f16. Okay, now shutter speed. I personally shoot at 1/200 as I prefer a faster shutter to reduce the chance of bringing in any shake or movement blur into an image. Yes, a slower shutter can allow more light in, but with a faster shutter, you can lock things in place. Think a wing, perhaps. So I recommend, as a start, a shutter speed of 1/200. Now your ISO. ISO is a nice way to increase the amount of light into your image, but with that increased light, it can also bring in an increase of image noise. As you're using a flash, there's no need to increase this setting at all. Why affect the details of your subject by bringing in unwanted noise? So for me, ISO settings for macro photography is non-negotiable. This means I don't touch it or change it. I keep my ISO setting locked at 200. This is the only camera setting I do not change. So that's ISO 200. No more, no less. Okay, let's recap your camera settings. An aperture of f11 to f22 with f16 the sweet spot, shutter speed of 1/200 and an ISO of 200. That's it. That's all you need. As you're using a flash as the main source of light, your flash settings will be adapting to your situation, your subject, and any other factors at play when you're out in the field. What I suggest is to take a couple of test shots at a certain flash setting and see what's working and what's not, and then dial it in. Make sure that the image isn't overexposed or too dark. Keep dialing in your flash settings until you've hit that perfect balance. When using these settings with a flash, what you're looking for in an image is that it has soft, natural-looking light, enough to bring out the details of your subject. Your highlights or the bright areas shouldn't be blown out or be too bright either. Much like this. Notice the highlights from the flash are subtle and aren't hot? Lovely. Also, one last thing. You should be shooting in RAW format. Shooting in RAW gives you more flexibility in post-production. But I'd recommend trying to get your photo correct in the camera first and only using the editing as a way to polish. If you can nail a perfect in-camera macro photo, well, you're on your way. Okay, so let's recap again. You'll be shooting in manual mode and your lens will be in manual focus. Your camera settings will be an aperture of f11 to f22 with f16 the sweet spot, a shutter speed of 1/200 and an ISO of 200. Take some test shots with your flash settings, make sure the image isn't overexposed or too dark, and dial those settings in. And that's it. You're good to go. These settings alone will help you take some great macro imagery, but keep in mind macro photography is about patience, practice, and commitment. So, good luck, have fun. So there you go. I hope this video has been enlightening and worth your while. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Interested in macro lenses? Here is a review of the Laowa 100mm. And here is a review of the Olympus 60mm. Cheers.